There's something about the smell of chalk dust and peanut butter sandwiches that takes us right back. Remember those long cafeteria lines, the clatter of metal trays, and the mystery meat that somehow tasted better when it came wrapped in wax paper? School lunches back in the 1950s weren't just meals. They were little moments of childhood ritual. No kale salads or quinoa bowls. Just simple, hearty food served with side of routine and a carton of cold milk. Back then, schools didn't worry much about gourmet menus or organic labels. They fed kids what was affordable, filling, and easy to make in big batches. Some of these lunches we'd never see today. But oh, how we remember them. Today, we're looking at 10 forgotten school lunches that were served in the 1950s. A delicious trip down memory lane, one tray at a time. The mystery Meatloaf Mondays. Every Monday, without fail, the same grayish-brown loaf would appear on trays across America. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't pretty, but it was there. Schools called it meatloaf. But between the onions, breadcrumbs, and who knows what kind of ground beef, it had a texture all its own, like a soft brick wrapped in ketchup glaze. Kids would poke at it with their forks, daring each other to take a bite. Some loved it, others traded it for cookies. But everyone knew, if you skipped meatloaf, you missed out on the gravy, the real star. Thick, salty, and poured generously over mashed potatoes. It turned even the toughest cutlet into comfort. It faded out by the 70s as nutrition standards changed and parents began asking, what exactly is in this? Today, it's a symbol of an era when taste mattered less than cost, and full bellies mattered most. Tuna Casserole Tuesdays. Picture this. A steaming casserole dish pulled from the oven, filled with canned tuna, egg noodles, peas, and a creamy sauce made from condensed soup. Top it with crushed potato chips for crunch. That was Tuesday's special. This dish wasn't invented in a fancy kitchen. It came straight from post-war American homes, where moms used pantry staples to stretch meals. Schools picked up on it because it was cheap, quick, and packed with protein. The smell alone could fill the whole cafeteria. Fishy, buttery, comforting. Kids either adored it or pushed it to the edge of their tray. But no one forgets the sound of those crispy chips giving way under a plastic spoon. As fresh ingredients became easier to source and canned soup fell out of favor, tuna casseroles slowly vanished from lunch menus. But for those who grew up with it, one bite brings back gym class, hopscotch, and the walk home with a belly full of nostalgia. Baked potato bar, yes really, long before build-your-own burrito bars. Some schools offered something radical, a baked potato station. Kids would line up, pick a hot spud from a steam table, and customize it with butter, salt, sour cream, if they were lucky, and even leftover chili or stew. In colder states like Minnesota or Michigan, this was a winter favorite. Imagine holding that warm foil-wrapped potato in your hands after coming in from recess. Snow still melting in your hair. Comfort food, plain and simple. It worked because potatoes were cheap, filling, and non-perishable. But as prepackaged meals took over and kitchens got smaller, the messy, labor-intensive potato bar disappeared. Now, it feels almost revolutionary, like a lost art of school dining. Spaghetti on white bread. Not on a plate, not with garlic bread. This was spaghetti on 2 slices of white bread, like a sloppy, saucy sandwich. You heard that right. School cooks tried everything to cut costs and save dishes. So instead of plates and forks, they slapped cooked spaghetti and tomato sauce between 2 pieces of soft sandwich bread. It was messy, yes. Sauce dripped down your wrists, and noodles escaped with every bite. But it was hot, filling, and some kids swore it tasted better this way. It didn't last long. By the late 50s, schools realized kids preferred eating spaghetti the normal way. And let's be honest, cleaning spaghetti out of desk drawers probably helped kill the trend. Still, for a brief moment, American ingenuity met Italian flavors in the most bizarre, delicious way possible. Liver and onions, the Bravery test. If there was a courage contest in the lunchroom, liver and onions was the final boss. The strong smell hit you the moment you walked in. Dark, glistening slices of organ meat smothered in caramelized onions. Some schools serve it once a month, usually on a gray Wednesday. Nutritionists praised it, rich in iron, good for growing bodies. But kids, they held their breath, grabbed their milk cartons, and tried not to look at it. A few brave souls ate it proudly. Their parents said it made you strong. Their friends said they were weird. Either way, finishing a plate of liver earned serious respect. Eventually, schools phased it out. Too many complaints. Too many trays returned untouched. But for those who survived it, it's a badge of honor and a story passed down like campfire lore. Peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Peanut butter and jelly? Common. But in certain Midwest schools, a strange twist emerged. Peanut butter with dill pickles. Sliced thin and layered right on top. At first glance, it sounds wild. Sweet and tangy, creamy and crunchy, all in one bite. But for kids in farming towns, this combo made sense. Pickles were easy to grow, and store. Peanut butter was cheap protein. Together, they lasted all week in a metal lunchbox. Mothers packed them for years. Some kids even asked for seconds. But as processed foods took over and taste trends shifted, the pickle sandwich faded into legend. Now it sounds like a prank. Back then, just another way to make do and make it tasty. Creamed chicken over crackers. Imagine a thick, white sauce bubbling in a giant pot, chunks of chicken swimming in it, and instead of rice or biscuits, saltine crackers laid carefully on a tray, waiting to be drowned in the gooey mix. This was a popular choice in rural districts where ovens were limited and casseroles reigned supreme. It was easy to cook in bulk, hard to mess up, and surprisingly filling. The texture was unique. Soft crackers soaked in creamy chicken, like a savory porridge. Some kids loved the warmth of it. Others hated how the crackers turned mushy too fast. By the 1960s, schools started serving more structured meals. Creamed chicken moved from lunch trays to grandma's Sunday supper, where it still has a loyal fan base. The milk carton revolution. Before juice boxes and plastic bottles, milk came in small cardboard cartons sealed with a tiny flap you peel back. The design was new in the 1950s, revolutionary. No more glass bottles clinking in wire crates. These little white packages were part of nearly every lunch. Cold, creamy, and always slightly crumpled from being stuffed in a lunchbox. Kids would peel the corners slowly, trying not to spill. Some even saved the cartons to fold into origami hats. They weren't just practical, they were symbolic, a sign that schools cared about nutrition. President Truman had launched the National School Lunch Program just a few years earlier, and milk was its golden child. While the carton lives on, the ritual of peeling it open with careful fingers. That's a lost moment of quiet focus in a noisy lunchroom. Tomato soup and grilled cheese, but with a twist. We all know this classic combo. But in the 1950s, schools did something different. They baked the grilled cheese. Not fried, not buttered, just bread, cheese, and a trip to the oven until the cheese oozed out the sides. The result? A dry, golden sandwich that crunched on the outside and melted within, paired with a cup of steaming tomato soup, often made from powder mixed with water. It was pure comfort. No fancy artisan bread. No cheddar aged 10 years. Just American cheese, white bread, and a love for simplicity. As grills and stoves became standard in school kitchens, the baked version faded. But for anyone who remembers dipping that stiff sandwich into warm red soup, it's a flavor of home, even if it wasn't made at home. The dessert drawer. Not a specific dish, but a tradition. In many schools, desserts weren't served daily. Instead, they were stored in a big drawer near the register. Spice cake, tapioca pudding cups, rice pudding or jello squares in cherry red or lime green. Kids would crane their necks, try and see what was inside. A scoop of pudding meant a good day. A dry spice cake? Well, you took what you could get. These treats weren't flashy. No sprinkles, no branding. Just sweet, simple endings to a meal that often started with mystery meat. Over time, sugar guidelines tightened, and prepackaged snacks replaced homemade-style desserts. The dessert drawer closed for good, but the memory of that cool spoon hitting tapioca, for many, it's the sweetest part of the whole meal. These lunches may seem strange now. Some might even make you laugh. But behind every tray was a kid with muddy shoes, a notebook full of doodles, and a hunger that only a warm meal could fix. The 1950s gave us simple food with no frills. Because back then, school lunch wasn't about trends. It was about making sure no child went hungry. So next time you see a modern lunch tray, take a second to wonder, what will today's kids remember 50 years from now? If this trip down memory lane brought back a smile or a story from your own school days, we'd love to hear it. Drop a comment below. Share your favorite or least favorite lunch. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the past. Until next time, keep your milk cold and your napkin folded just right.